My name is Tamiya Robles. I am the owner of FixMyCreditNow850.com. I am a credit expert. I've been in the game for several years. A lot of my referral partners are either in real estate, somehow, some way, whether they're mortgage lenders, brokers, real estate agents. That's the huge bulk of my partnerships. I deal with all different types of people, but mostly you guys. So a lot of this came from, and if you notice, I have a couple of Zooms that I'm going to be doing this week, but it's catered towards you guys because there's a lot of misinformation, miscommunication between sometimes the lender, the real estate agent, and then the customer. So hopefully this whole little Zoom thing will shed some light on it. But in the meantime, one of the benefits of being an entrepreneur is you can add on additional services to your business, and credit repair is definitely a benefit, especially for lenders, especially if you're in the real estate industry. So we're going to go over that. If you guys have any questions, some of this might be a little confusing, just ask me at the end. Okay, so right now I'm going to share my screen. And so we will begin. So like I stated, this is real estate agents and lenders working with credit repair specialists to improve your business. Okay, this is just who I am. I'm the owner, and I'm also the president and founder of a nonprofit organization called The Movement. We are a nationwide community-based nonprofit organization to help, obviously, the community. We're kind of like a one-stop shop. A lot of people there are also real estate agents somehow, some way. So I just deal with you guys so often. All right, so we're going to go into basically lenders and agents. Okay, we're going to start in our partnership. So bear with me, I'm dropping the screen here. So lenders who work with a credit repair specialist, it gives the clients the ability to enhance their loan approvals, okay, and mitigate risk by improving credit worthiness. Real estate agents who work with a credit repair specialist can do the same, having a lender review the client's credit report. Potential clients can overcome credit challenges and so on and so forth. So in a nutshell, I know I actually had a conversation very recently with a lender, and I just have a new partnership with a brokerage company, and they're also managing my Facebook page as well. But one of the things that they asked me was, how can we all collectively work together? And honestly, I just said communication amongst all of us. Lenders specialize in one thing, real estate agents specialize in their thing, and then as a credit repair specialist, I specialize in credit repair, but we work so closely together that sometimes some people decide that, hey, I'm a lender, but I know a little bit about credit repair. So I'm gonna say a few things. And then the real estate agent might say, I know a little bit about being a mortgage lender. Let me give my input on it. But if we work together and we all stay in our own separate lanes, so to speak, it makes the process for the customer much smoother. The home buying process, it goes by much smoother. So lenders, what they do is they look at the person's credit report. How I like to partner with them is they will tell me exactly what needs to be on the person's credit report or removed from their credit report to get the credit score that they need, to get the pre-approval that is necessary for the person to purchase a home. I am a credit expert, and I instinctively just want to clean everyone's credit, but that can take longer as opposed to a lender just saying, you know what, I just need a couple inquiries removed, get this collection off, that's it, right? So that saves time. Therefore, it allows the client to be pre-approved much faster. More than likely, though, most of the customers that the partnerships I get with real estate agents, they already have a partnership with a lender. It might be a couple of lenders that they're used to working with. So sometimes the agent and the lender communicate first, and then they kind of pull me in later. So the partnership I have with a lot of real estate agents are, hey, Tamiya, I got this client, her credit is bad or their credit is bad. Can you fix their credit? And I'll say, sure. But sometimes they don't always communicate with their lender. They'll wait for me to do my thing. And then when I'm done, then they send them over to their lender. Idealistically, the real estate agent should at least have the lender check out their credit first and then tell me, hey, I already spoke to my guy. My guy said remove these 3 things and we're golden, right? But that's how the partnerships in idealistic world, it should go. And that's just a little bit of how it's gone with me so far. Okay, so next up, okay, we're going backwards here. So again, what lenders review compared in how I can help. So a lender looks at credit scores. Lenders assess the score and measure the client's credit worthiness, right? Now, how I can help is I review the credit score and see if it's the score that needs, the score that's needed for pre-approval. Okay. So sometimes the client has a credit profile. They might have the score, but not the profile. Profile meaning all of the other things that's on the credit report. And we'll get into that as well. Some people have a low score, good credit profile, high score, bad credit profile, right? So I review the credit score to see, I review their credit score and their credit report along with the lenders a lot of the time. So we're working hand in hand, as I stated previously. Credit utilization, the lenders are considering the credit utilization. High utilization for a credit card is an indication that the client is a high risk customer. Even though I did do a few points about what lenders review, I am not a lender. I work closely with lenders. So these points I must stress, and I guess I should have said this before, these are the common issues that I hear a lot dealing with lenders. So that's all. I know they do a whole lot. I'm not trying to say they do less than this, but they do a whole lot more. They look at other things, but these are the main, most important things that I've learned over time that they look for. So high risk, high credit utilization. Now, as far as I'm concerned, what I can do to help, if the utilization is high, credit education is very much recommended. It's not necessarily a credit repair thing when it comes to high credit card utilization. And it may not be as simple for people to say, oh, just pay down your credit cards. No, we can pay down our credit cards, but how much? You don't always need to zero out your credit cards. 15% or less is great, but sometimes clients can't afford to pay off that much. So as a credit repair expert, I'll walk them through like the best possible way to reduce their credit utilization, when to pay, which cards to start off with, so on and so forth, right? So credit education is definitely applied if the lender is saying that the credit utilization is too high. Debt to income ratio, it's another thing that the lenders review, pretty major. Comparing monthly debt payments to the monthly income helps to assess if the client's ability to handle additional debt. Now, where I come in, high debt reflecting on a credit report, it can be removed. So that's where, again, if a lender has already looked at the client's credit report, they talk to me, they'll say, hey, their debt to income ratio is pretty high. This particular account is holding them back. It happens to be negative, so on and so forth. It's hurting them. Can you remove it? Yes, I can. I can remove pretty much anything from someone's credit report. Inquiries, especially recent inquiries. I do another Zoom call where I'm breaking down what percentages calculate your overall credit score. Inquiries and brand new credit is a small percentage, but it does affect the client's credit score. So I tell clients all the time, if you're in the middle of purchasing a house or you're trying to get a loan for anything, be careful opening new debt. It looks like you're begging for money, especially if you have a whole bunch of inquiries on your credit report. So that is what a lender is going to look for. How I can help as a credit repair specialist is, again, it goes back to providing credit education. I can also, or my company, we can remove inquiries, or in some cases, I actually have a 24-hour inquiry removal ebook that I created when I think it was like during the height of the pandemic. And it's an old hack that used to work, and then it stopped working because everybody used it. And then it was kind of like forgotten about, and now it works again. So if anyone is interested in getting that free ebook, just let me know and I'll send it out to you. Just put your email in the chat. And another thing that the lenders look at is delinquencies. Okay, that's kind of common knowledge. This reflects the client's ability to meet their financial obligations. Okay, what I can do as a credit repair specialist is overturn any missed payments, right? A lot of times, whether they're right or wrong, a lot of the times when a creditor is posting missed payments, I don't know why, the calculations are wrong. So if you miss a payment, obviously you're 30 days late, right? And then if you miss it for the next month, then it's 60 days, and then 90, and then so on and so forth, right? A lot of the times it's not reporting correctly. So I'm what you call a factual disputer. So I'm looking strictly at what is or is not, okay, that's cool. Excellent. What I look at is what should and should not be on your credit report based under the FCRA, which is your rights. They're covered under the FCRA. The creditor also has rights as well. But I'm not here to fight for the creditor. I'm here to fight for the client. So if you have one account and under the FCRA, your information is supposed to report 100% accurately across the board, then there should be nothing wrong, right? Everything should be reporting perfectly. And 9.999 times out of 10, whether it's a positive account or a negative account, is reporting wrong, especially those missed payments. So these lenders, yes, they're looking at all of these things, but just keep in mind, as a credit repair specialist, every problem has a solution and we can get it together. Okay, we can fix it. Now, okay, going on, I don't know why I keep going backwards. Real estate agent. So my relationships and our relationships that I have, I've noticed I get the same type of comments all the time, right? So I just took some of my most common comments that I get from real estate agents, and then I have like my response, okay? So a real estate agent may say, hey, my client thought they had good credit, but they were denied for a loan, okay? So a credit repair specialist can work with the lender to see exactly what needs to be repaired on the credit report. And so the client can have their credit fixed and then they can reapply and then be approved. I do this all the time, like all the time, okay? So if you are a real estate agent, just keep that in mind. Every problem has a solution credit-wise, okay? Real estate agents also say, I'm already working with the lender. My client wasn't pre-approved because their credit score was off by 15 points. I get this a lot. I got something like this pretty recently. Is there anything that can be done? Yes. Those that know me, I know a lot of you guys are pretty new, but yes, I have my ways. One of the fastest ways, right? There's several options. And again, credit education helps a lot for the client. There's different ways like trade lines. A client can purchase trade lines. I did a video on that. I'm going to do more videos on that as well. I didn't know, a lot of people didn't know what trade lines were. There's different ways to boost a score quickly. One of the fastest ways, believe it or not, is to get those inquiries removed. Inquiries are, when you get one on your credit report, it's usually a 2 to 3 point drop in your credit score. So if you have like 15, 20 of them, if you get them removed, times 15, 20 by 2 to 3 points, and that would roughly give you an idea of how much your score would be increased by. So that's why it's pretty important to get the 24-hour inquiry removal, to get those inquiries off. We can do it for you as well, but there is, under the FCRA, okay, you have to give the bureau, the creditors, at least 30 to 45 days to respond to the dispute letters that we send out. Does it take 30 to 45 days for them to respond on average? No, it doesn't. On average, it takes 2 to 3 weeks. I usually see results that fast based off of the letters that we create here. But if you want it faster, again, just get the ebook. It's a pretty common thing at this point. There are some student loans on my client's credit report that is affecting their debt to income ratio. We don't need you to delete the loan or zero it out completely. Please help. I get this a lot, a super lot, right? So a good customer, a good credit repair specialist will be able to provide necessary guidance, service, and education to resolve this matter within 30 to 45 days. I'm very good at dealing with student loan debt. I've deleted it. I've consolidated it. I've lowered monthly payments. So I don't know the details. Speak with a lender, but I do know that they do not want, the lender does not want the student loan to be deleted or zeroed out. They want a minimum of $1 a month. Go figure. I don't know why. It has something to do with the mortgage approval. If anyone here is a lender and they're well versed in that, just feel free to leave a comment and explain. So because that has been a thing, at least I want to say at least 3-4 years. I think it's been like that. I'm not quite sure, but I do know how to fix it. So the client's student loans look perfect. The payments are on time from the start of the loan until present, and that their monthly is lowered. So that helps a lot. That helps a lot. All right. Now, most credit repair services. So I am aware that my industry has a bad rep. Okay. So a lot of times when I deal with lenders and real estate agents, they're always coming to me like, I was going to hire you or partner with you. I have a lot of clients that weren't approved because of their credit, but I just don't trust anyone because you guys burn people for money or you're super expensive. I hear all of that all the time. This is a very shady industry, I guess. That's why credit education is huge. So here's one of the ways, like if you don't partner with my company per se, then these are the things that you want to look for to see if you are dealing with a good credit repair expert or company, right? Naturally, they would offer credit repair services, right? Credit education is major. So the reason why it's major is because it shows that that company wants better for your client. Yes, you want them to cross the finish line. Yes, you want them to get their home, their car, whatever, the insurance, whatever industry you're in. However, by providing credit education, it allows the customer to feel comfortable, to trusting you, right? It gives a great rapport for you and with the credit repair specialist. It shows that you're just not going to send your client anywhere, right? You're going to send them over to people who care. So that part, but credit education also, without credit education, your clients will pretty much mess up their credit because they receive no guidance, and then that will make them repeat customers. I always tease my customers and I say, I do not want you to be a repeat customer. I'm gonna double, triple your price. I just say that jokingly because I know I educate all of my customers. Every once in a while, I'll get a customer that doesn't want the education, and looks at me as a person that just cleans their credit up. I deal with that. It's very rare, but when it comes to companies and their services, that's what you should look for. Number two should be at least credit education. A free consultation. Under the FCRA, we have to give a free consultation. If you're looking for a credit repair company to partner up with and they're charging people for a consultation, then you know they're violating the client's rights under the FCRA. That's a big no-no. So turn and run. Trade lines. Again, I'll do another video after I set up everything here, but I'll do another video about trade lines. Trade lines are offered by most credit repair specialists. If a company or a specialist does not offer it, or even know what it is, then I would question that company because they probably have no idea what they're doing. All right, but it's just another way to quickly increase a client's credit score. Okay, pretty important. Do-it-yourself products, DIY. So I'm not here to judge anyone else's business. I know we all do things differently, but some clients, potential clients, they want to try to do things themselves. Everyone has that right. So a good credit repair company will offer do-it-yourself services. Again, that's just my opinion. I have seen it with some good ones and bad ones, but you want to offer the services to the client and also give them an opportunity to have, again, credit education to tie in with those products. And I have that. I have a whole bunch of letters. I offer a lot of on my YouTube channel, on Facebook. I have like 5 Facebook groups. My main Facebook group is Credit and First Time Home Buyers Plug. You'll always see free videos, free downloads, anything and everything, just so for people that want to do it themselves. In most cases, more than 50% of the time, they try it out and they realize how much time and energy is spent doing this and how much money is involved, and they just get it and they're like, you know what, can you take care of it? But these are just the signs that you're dealing with a good company. And lastly, just additional specialty services. If you're seeing something that you just never thought of or heard of before, benefit your client, and you're checking them out, they're a good credit repair company, more than likely. I don't see a crappy credit repair company offering helpful services, So these are just some little signs. Hopefully that helps you. And then lastly, like just wrapping up, we're all a team, okay? We're a team, we work together. So you have the real estate agent, you have the lender, you have the credit repair expert. We all work together to help get the customer what they need as quickly as possible, okay? So just keep that in mind. So now Q&A, does anyone have any questions? Actually, we do have some questions in the chat. So, Mr. Sabin, I got you covered. You want to talk one-on-one? I got you. No problem. Anytime you need to reach me. Belinda, I thought if you remove an inquiry and it's attached to a good account, you will then delete the good account and cause the score to drop. Also, paying for a trade line, is that not legal? Very good question. So yeah, I delete inquiries all the time on open accounts. And I have yet to see an account close. It's never happened to me ever. If it were to happen, there is a way to counter that. It's very simple. You can just contact the creditor and just say, or the lender rather, and just say, hey, this was deleted, an error. Can you please reactivate the account or something? But again, like I said, I personally never had this issue. That is in my opinion, an old thought process, just as old as trade lines being illegal. So there is a positive and a negative way to do anything and everything. So in the 80s, when trade lines first came out, there were commercials about trade lines. It was exciting, new. And then people took advantage of it. They used it for the wrong reasons, and that became somewhat more popular then. That's when it became illegal. They stopped, in a way, they were saying, no, you can't use, you can't, I'm sorry, I'm thinking CPAs, my apologies, not trade lines. I'm sorry, I got the two confused. Trade lines are, no, they're not illegal at all. All it is, there's trade line companies. Trade lines are basically, you are piggybacking off of someone's positive credit through a credit card. And there are trade line companies, and they're legitimate companies. So what it is I have, for example, I have a client. She is addicted to getting credit cards for some reason. Her credit score is amazing. She only comes to me to remove inquiries because she keeps applying for credit cards. And she has about 30 credit cards, and she only uses maybe 10. So yes, she's addicted to it. She says, like, when she goes into her bank, they just say, oh, hey, you want some credit cards? And she'll be like, sure. And so they give her credit cards. And I'm talking about the big boys too. I'm not talking about like secure credit cards. She has credit cards, 30,000, 50,000, 4 or 5 Navy. I think she has 4 Navy Federal credit cards. So what she would do, because she trusted me personally, she let me use them for clients, because I needed clients that needed those extra points. And she was fine with it. She gave consent, legal consent. They have no access to her personal information. And that's also how you can tell you have a good trade line company, because they'll put you under a contract. They put the customer under contract, and it's not a problem. It's not illegal. The problem is, so anything that will benefit your client and that will benefit anyone that is not the 1%, they're going to say it's illegal or it's wrong, or you shouldn't do it, or it's frowned upon. Is it frowned upon with some of the banks that a client is using a trade line? Yes. Do you want to know why? Because they expect the client to struggle. They expect people to not be approved. And if this is what's going to get way more people approved much faster, then they have to say that this is not good and it's frowned upon. I had a client who had a credit score of 450. He had nothing on his credit. Absolutely. I'm sorry. No, he had one collection on his credit. I removed it. His score dropped a little more. He had nothing, right? So it was nothing to increase. He had 0 credit, right? And credit is about averages. So if I take away a negative, your score would typically go up if you have way more positive. But if you have no credit and 1 negative, when I take the negative away, you are left with nothing. So I put him on a trade line, a really cheap trade line. He didn't need a lot because he had nothing. So I put him on a trade line, I think a Capital One card of like $1,200. I knew that card was going to report in like 3 or 4 days. So he paid, he got on 3 or 4 days. His score went up to a 750 trade line. He was done with me. I haven't heard from him since, right? Which is good, but he went and purchased a home with that. So what bank is going to encourage you to do something like that? They're going to frown upon it. So yeah, hopefully that answered that question. You said like so many things, so you must have said something prior to paying for a trade line. Yeah, nope, it's not legal at all. Like so many things. Now, I like to talk to you. Okay, I got you. All right, unmute
2
yourself.
reasons I never like to talk to you.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Unmute yourself. You can, I got you. I'm here.
Well, my first is I actually joined this and it was really educational. I'm not a leader, lender, or real estate, but I have a really high debt to income ratio, and I do know some about the fair credit reporting laws. The thing I'm needing guidance on is the wreckage I incurred happened after my first partner passed away. And I'm on disability. I just moved home this year to take care of my dad. His health went like this, which turned out to be a great decision because now I launched into my own business and I'm going back to school and a bunch of stuff. But my problem has become, I do know on some levels, but it's very confusing. I would be able to medically prove that I was essentially out of my mind. I was in desperation, survival mode, and made decisions that I couldn't process at all because my med balance was nowhere near correct.
Mhm.
And I do know there's supposed to be some levels of forgiveness around that kind of stuff because if you're not mentally sane when you're signing a contract, you're not legally liable for it. You're not mentally sane. And
Mhm.
I cannot figure out where to go on some of that because it's holding me back so badly. I have a loan that I took out with a, an ex. He convinced me to take it out, and his bank took me as the loan because he kept having overdrafts. Well, then he didn't pay it off, and so now I have like a $3,000 loan sitting in a default,
Mhm.
and I don't know what to do with it. And I have other credit card debt that's unsecured and stuff that I need to get rid of to move forward, but I don't know where to go.
Oh,
I
okay.
looked in like Lexington Law Firm. I did pay for them for a little bit, and they were horrible, like you said. Like it was very shady.
Mhm.
Um, so like that's kind of what I want to talk to you about is like where do I go? Because right now I feel like bankruptcy is my only
Never
option.
ever do bankruptcy. You don't.
And that's exactly what I'm hearing is, like sometimes I know people do it because they feel like it's their only option in the world.
Right. And again, that's the whole setup. Like they want you to think that because there's more money, you get more money out of people that are poor and broke
Oh, absolutely. I
and
mean,
and that are bankrupt. They're naturally because you're gonna always forever owe and keep paying, right? Now you said a couple of things. So let me first make it clear. There's two things with credit repair. So credit is just your credit report is just a report of your debt. It's
yeah.
like it's just like a report card, and the
Mhm.
credit bureaus are providing this report card, but all the grades are supposed to be the same across the board, and they're not, right? So I would come in and fix that, right?
Yeah.
Remove some stuff, put things, address them. Hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Now, if they fix it or they remove it, the negative items, that's fine. But it doesn't mean you owe the debt. So there's two things. There's credit repair, and then
Mhm.
there's the actual debt, right?
Yeah.
So just because like I've removed over $600,000 of student loan debt on one credit report, right? But that doesn't mean they don't owe the $600,000, right?
Okay.
Most people don't pay the $600,000 and they know that. So what they choose to do in turn is to put it on your credit report so it slows you down from getting positive credit. They know
Yeah.
people go to their great. My mother was an attorney and she was just chipping away before she passed away during COVID. She was just starting to chip away at her law degree or the loan from when she was in law school, and she died. Like, so
Yeah.
you're going to your grave with a student loan debt, right? So but they'll put it on your credit report, right? Because they're going to try to hurt you
Mhm.
either way. What you can do is just
Yeah.
get the debt off your credit report, and then your score is going to rise and you can manipulate it and all that. As far as you resolving the debt alone, yes, you can. I'm not an attorney, so you might want to speak to an attorney, but like I have plenty of letters where you can say, I'm not responsible for this, right? And that is going to be between you and the creditor. But ultimately, yes, if it is medical, for example, I do know that some hospitals, there's a section in the accounting section you can actually ask where they get grants and they can pay people's medical bills. All you got to do is just ask them. It's a pretty simple process. But other than that, if
Yeah.
you weren't in your right state of mind and you can show that on paper, you can also file a CFPB complaint. There's ways you could go above the bureau's heads and get things done. Everything is about paperwork.
Well, and that's kind of what I wanted to go one on one with you. And my second reason I wanted to go one on one is every Friday I do kind of a business insiders podcast.
Mhm.
And a lot of what you talked about around how the credit repair industry got real shady,
Mhm.
um, that slide you did about if you're looking for that, here are the things you need to look for. I
Mhm.
didn't even know what a trade line was until you
Mhm.
described it.
Yeah, I have a
Like, I had
whole
no
video.
clue what that was.
Hmm.
And so that was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, whether or not you would be interested in being a guest. It's I do my YouTube and my and a pod. It's on Zoom. I record it. I just started as a podcast too.
Okay.
And talk about like, hey, if you're going into credit repair, these things you want to see. Because I know when I did Lexington Law Firm, they charged me to pull my credit report,
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
which I didn't know was illegal. And I don't think a lot of people know that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I think that's, that would be really good information because I do a lot of work with sustainable abundance, self-sufficiency stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and that's like where a lot of my stuff is about manifesting reality. It's kind of what my company does. And I really loved what you talked about there because I don't think people know that, like, with like Lexington and some of the other firms, they do charge you to, oh, well, you have to pay to pull your credit report for the free consultation.
Hmm.
And how is it a free consultation?
Yes. Yes, true. So one of the things that I do is I am partnered with a credit company called SmartCredit. So you have SmartCredit, you have Identity IQ, and they're like the two big boys in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a monthly fee that you pay, but technically you're paying for, so this is, everything's always about wording, right? So
Mm-hmm.
are you paying for a credit report on paper? No, but you're paying to have access to all of their services that are inclusive, right? So that's how like it's worded. But I do need people to pay into this monthly so I can see their credit profile, all of it. And it goes back years, right? But if you go on my actual website, you can click on how to get your free credit report, not through any other third party, straight from the source, right? So if you
No,
just want
I
to
had
know
to.
your credit, if you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I I just recently did that because on June 2nd, as part of my own emotional and spiritual healing, I actually legally changed my name.
Hmm.
So I had to have a lot of that backup in case the His Honor wanted it for any reason. So I
Okay.
have like all three bureaus, the reports printed, and they're like 45 pages each.
Yeah.
But like I mean, it's like every bit of the information.
But if you changed your name, you know you can wipe your whole credit report clean, right? Yeah,
Uh,
we'll talk.
yeah, we need to talk about that because
We'll
I
talk.
did not know that. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's something that we need to talk about right now.
clean.
Or
Yeah.
yeah,
And
we
it's
need to.
legal. It's not illegal. And like I've had people ask me like, "Oh, is such and such legal? I heard it was illegal." See, it's not meant for us to know. We're not the 1%. The 1% does this all the time and it's okay. It sounds illegal because we never heard of it before because it was never taught to us before. Okay? Period. So like
Interesting.
I'll give you a short snippet and then like we can, just connect with me and then we'll talk one on one,
Okay.
right?
What I'll do is I'm gonna drop my email in
Mhm.
to the chat here, and then if you can drop yours, I'll shoot you a
Sure,
follow.
I'll post it up again.
Yeah.
I'll post it up again. So what I was trying to say is, here's the thing. So your debt, let's say you have an eviction, repo. I've never seen all this on one person's uh,
Mine is about just
credit
a little
report.
under 10,000 all unsecure.
Right, just listen, just hear me out here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna mute you. Okay. Well, I put my information up here too. But just as an example, like let's say that you have all of this stuff on your credit report, right? And then your name is SpongeBob SquarePants. And SpongeBob SquarePants got all of this debt on his credit report, and he has an eviction, and he has repos and medical bills. SpongeBob changed his name to Mary Poppins, but that's still SpongeBob because it's the social security number of SpongeBob. But free will, now we're talking to Mary Poppins with the social security number, right? All of the debt that's on your credit report was under SpongeBob,
Mm-hmm.
not Mary Poppins. So when you go to file a dispute and your Mary Poppins is going to say, here's my driver's license, it says I'm Mary Poppins. My name is Mary Poppins. Here's a copy of a bill. My name is Mary Poppins. All this debt is not mine. You don't have to go into detail. You don't have to say anything else. They have the last four of your social. It's up to them to investigate and read. Your debt is connected to however they reported your name. And it's not their job. It's not your job to fix it for them, right? It's the creditor's job to investigate. It's the creditor's job to say, oh, did SpongeBob change his name? Oh, okay, well, let's put the debt on Mary Poppins because this is who it's connected to via social security number, right? But that's not your job. Your job is to say, I'm Mary Poppins with the last four digits of such and such. And you don't even have to talk about that. I'm Mary Poppins. This debt belongs to somebody else that's not Mary Poppins. And they have 30 days to give you an answer and to do something about it. And if they don't do anything about it, I usually give them 2-3 shots at best, just to be fair, because I know they get about 500,000 letters. That's none of my business either. That's not my problem. I'm being nice.
Mhm.
Do something about this. And if you're not, cool, I'll take it. But usually by that time, they're like, whoa, who's Mary Poppins? We got to fix this. Now they have their rights under the FCRA as well. They can fix it. They can take it, they can delete it and fix it and put it back on. But a lot of people don't have the time or the patience or the money for that. They just take it off. That's it. So yes, you can wipe your slate clean if you've changed your name. Even if you were a junior and now you're the third or the fourth or the 10th or whatever, if you did something slight, remember, I don't know if you're familiar with the singer Erykah Badu. She was not born with the spelling of Erica like that.
Mhm.
And her mother spelled it Erica, and then she spelled it her own way. Clean slate. Start all over again. People that are married, you change your name. I was born a different name. Then I got married. I got all these names going on. Clean slate. A lot of people don't know that.
Okay, I'd love to talk about that one-on-one because I know through COVID, a lot of the dispute processing changed to an online situation. As to
It was always an option for online.
yeah,
Online was always an option.
but it became more pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but that's something I want to talk to you about. And
Never want
listening,
to dispute online. Never.
don't ever do it online. Okay.
You give up all your rights to sue them, and you can actually get a lot of money if you choose to sue them. But yeah, we could always talk about it online. No problem.
No, I mean, and like I said, I would like to schedule the wiping the slate clean because I didn't even know that was an option until you just told me, and I'm real interested in that.
Mhm.
And then also, so much of what you talked about as you were going through kind of your talk, I think would make for a great, just reaching out to people struggling with that's not the 1%.
Mhm.
Who are coming out of poverty and trying to buy a house. They're starting a family. And I think a lot of that would be really great.
Mhm.
So I definitely, if you get a chance, I'll throw you an email probably tonight, probably tomorrow. I'm tired. I've been going meeting, email all day. But I will definitely shoot you an email tomorrow.
Sure.
I'm gonna go do a quick copy and paste over into my note because
Mhm.
it's just far easier to do it that way.
Okay.
And let's try to get together because I do want to know more about that the clean slate
Mhm.
thing. I
Yeah,
didn't
we'll
really,
definitely go on my website, fixmycreditnow850.com, and then schedule something. If you're on Alignable with me, then message me or whatever. How did you find me?
I found your event. It was tonight via Alignable, and things show up right when you need them. I'm serious about this. My whole business is about manifesting the reality you wish, want, need, desire forward, and that we're all capable.
Mhm.
And I went into this because I'm not real estate or leadership, but you are a credit repair specialist. I just learned a whole bunch of stuff I didn't know.
Mhm.
And I even said before I finished dinner, I went, this is a right time moment. This is going to show up. I'm meant to go to this tonight
Mhm.
because it was a virtual network I did today because I didn't have time to do anything else. and I
Nice.
do virtual network a day.
Okay.
So, you know, right when I'm trying to deal with this debt problem,
There we
time
go.
goes, oh, here's your thing. And I'm like, all right, cool, thanks.
Yes.
Anywho, this was really enjoyable. I'll definitely jump onto your website because there'll be a post event. I'll send you a connection request too.
Cool, cool beans. Yeah, and all this week, excuse me, I'm trying to set up videos for actually I think I'm set for the next 2 weeks. So and then I'll do YouTube videos in between. But other than that, yeah, just making a connection with me and we'll hook up. No problem. And I'd love to be on your podcast.
Yeah, I really loved a lot of what you talked about around, you know, if you change your name even when you marry, that you've got this chance. And you
Mhm.
know, there's some things people don't know, and I've never seen someone in credit repair specialism ever talk about stuff like this.
No.
And shining some light on an industry that frankly is very dark.
It is.
There's a lot of people who have huge issues even trying to listen to somebody like you. They think you're lying.
Yeah, because they never heard of it before. I mean,
Yeah.
you could actually change your social security number too, and then, but it's just people don't know. Legal,
Well,
it's illegal.
I'm on disability still due to mental health,
Mhm.
and if I change my social, changing my name was hard enough with them.
Mhm.
Changing my social is just a whole nother ball game. But I was like, yeah, ain't worth that. We're not doing that side of the bureaucracy
Yeah,
today.
I
No,
get
thank you. I've had enough.
yes, for sure, for sure.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. Sorry, Nikita, you came on late. We've been going back and forth. I hope you've enjoyed us.
It's also recorded, so I could post it up. But Nikita, before we go, do you have any questions or concerns or anything you want to bring up?
No, not at this time. I just enjoyed the little bit that I did here.
Okay.
I'll keep looking.
Okay, excellent. Well, I have more meetings coming in the future, so hopefully you can hop on those. But and some of the stuff I like to repeat a lot because people never heard of it before. So you may possibly see the same video come up in the future. So just feel free to hop on.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you guys very much.
You're welcome. You guys have been great. I'm going to wrap this up. You guys have a good day, okay?
You guys have a
You
good
do the
night.
same.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.